Hello. Hello from the frozen UK. It's a bit like living in the Arctic. Everything's frozen. Every little twig, every little stone, everything is frozen solid. Fortunately, I haven't had to go out, but I'm going to have to go out tomorrow. So I'm doing this video because I had a very strange experience last night. I'm always saying that, aren't I? But this is to do with Ascension, I'm sure of it. So I'm going to relate it to you because I think things are hotting up. Well, Michael says that things are hotting up, and I'm getting concerned that I'm not going to be able to handle the energy. This is a very old body. And I've had a lot of very peculiar things happen. As you know, I've done lots of videos mentioning the Ascension of fifth dimension and all that stuff. I know I'm in the fifth. I know that. Whether I'm as far as Ascension, I don't know. No, we don't get told these things. But anyway, I've had lots of peculiar experiences, and somebody mentioned recently that they like to hear about the Ascension's word. Well, it's a big word and a big subject, but I'm just going to today do a bit of a recap about some of the symptoms because they are very difficult to understand, and I think I've received an understanding of sorts. I don't know about you, but I like to know why, and I can deal with it, you know. I don't like all these invisible things, and sometimes I do get concerned that I'm not going to be able to handle it. I know we're looked after, we're monitored apparently, we've got built-in monitors somewhere. That the dear ones watch us, and we are very carefully looked after, but sometimes I think, oh, I hope they haven't forgotten me, because last night was a bit scary. I go to bed for an hour, then I wake up. So I've got the whole night to about 4 o'clock to get through, just finding stuff to do, which is very hard in the middle of a night. So I usually put YouTube on or something, and then I do my little, I get fidgety. It starts off with intense restlessness. It's called restless legs, but it's more than that. I have it everywhere. It's intense. You just cannot keep still. You have to move about. I find going for a little walk helps, or just doing little things. I feel what it might be is like the electrical system gets overstimulated. Overstimulated, and it's a question of kind of getting in touch with the earth energy to ground it. I'm not terribly good at being grounded, I think. That's the trouble. I'm into this stuff so much in my head, and I find it hard to be grounded, not being able to go out for walks, of course. I'm stuck in this bungalow day and night, and I not television, so you get demagnetized. So if you're being, and of course the Earth's magnetic field apparently is down to, I think it's down by 15%, so all the electricity in the world is causing another problem. So we've got all this extra stuff coming in, which is blowing fuses all over the place. And you know, you read about outages in America and places like that where whole systems are shut down, and it is a concern because, you know, life depends on electricity. So when we get a shot, it comes in, you know, we have to ground it somehow, and I find that difficult. All right, I have found that moving about does help. Moving about does help, and to do the washing up, water particularly is helpful, you know, because you put your feet in water, that does help. Having a shower, but not at 2 o'clock in the morning. And doing little jobs where you're moving about and just getting the energy grounded. But last night was probably one of the worst, I think. I don't think it's CMEs, chronic, you know, the sun's eruptions and solar flares and so forth. This is something else. It's cosmic. And I get quite cross. I say to him, look, you want the planet to evolve. How about us? We're living here. We've got to deal with this. And I don't know what people are going to do, because I find it difficult. And I've been at this, 40 odd years, and it's just getting more difficult, more intense. I don't know how much more it's got to go on. I don't know how, you know, at what point they say that's enough, she's full up. But it basically is, it's bringing out all the problems that we've had in this lifetime and many lifetimes. I don't mean emotional, but there's that as well, but the physical problems. So last night I'd already gone through all this drama. I've got my drumming stick, and I beat my legs. I beat them. That kind of gets the circulation going, and I have water. I do the water trick. I put YouTube on when I get the Arcturian sounds nervous system thing. It does help calm it down. I have my own little systems of doing things to get back into. About 2 or 3 o'clock I go back to bed again after about a dozen coffees and cereal and buns and so forth. Because you've got to do something, and I think, well, I'll have something to drink or something to eat. And I think it does, in a way, help. It grounds the energy, but because it's not good for the body, is it? And, well, I don't think it's good for mine. It's all this. I try not to eat too many buns and things. But anyway, so I went back to bed about 3:30, and then I was suddenly aware, and I've never felt it before. The energy came in. It was sudden. It was like somebody gave me a shot. I get worried because I think it's a psychic attack because it's so powerful, and I can also see energy on the ceiling sometimes, you know, like shards of white light or shards of not like white light. I don't know, I think somehow the light energy is also attracting the dark energy, of course, so you've got both to deal with. So you're trying to get rid of one and have the other, and I'm lying there in my bed thinking, oh, now what? I definitely felt the energy come in, and my whole nervous system seemed to go on fire. I can't describe it any other way. It was like on fire. I was almost screaming. I mean, it was painful as well, very painful into the muscles and so forth, but the whole nervous system, I mean, I am very highly strung to start with, you can imagine. My nervous system is very, very highly attuned. Because of past lives of being priestesses and what have you, I've had to have a very, very highly attuned nervous system. So it's already primed up to its limit. So all this extra stuff comes in, my poor body. I think, well, now what do I do? So many things that I have to get out of bed. I've been out of bed all night. I have my exercise, getting in and out of bed. I got out of bed, I thought, okay, we just got to calm it down somehow. How do we calm it down? So, of course, it's thick frost outside. You couldn't go for a walk. Put my feet in water, tried that trick. That didn't help. Breathing, that kind of helps if you can be calm enough to breathe, if you know what I mean. And I did some invocations. I think that's right, the violet flame of cleansing, that seems to calm it down. And the Arcturian sound therapy for the nervous system. And I was at it for 2 or 3 hours. It was an absolute nightmare. I really got quite worried. Another thing that happens is nightmares. I mean, dreams, nightmares. I don't usually have difficult dreams. I don't usually have nightmares. But they're becoming. This particular time, I lay down and thought, oh, now what? There was all this stuff going on in my head. I've done a video about mind losing. I think I couldn't go into that again now because it's a time when you do actually feel you're losing your mind. You can see all this stuff. You're actually asleep, but you're awake. So you see all this processing going on that your mind is doing, and you can't stop it. You can't get into it. You've just got to allow it to happen. So I'm quite good at doing that. So this was another session with these peculiar dreams and his restlessness. You just cannot keep still. I'm going to look at the time. You can, it's impossible. And pain. Now I have something called fibromyalgia. I don't know what it is. Nobody knows what it is. But the pain in my thighs and my legs, I expect some of you can relate to this. The pain becomes so intense. If you've got a pain anywhere, this energy, the electrical energy, will somehow accentuate it. You get headaches, you get a dry throat, you get palpitations, you get muscular pain, you get pains everywhere you could imagine. And I think it goes back sometimes to past lives. I know I was a warrior, a king in one lifetime, galloping along, thighs gripping onto the horse, wielding my sword, hanging onto the crown. So I think that memories, and this is interesting, that memories you can remember a lifetime, think, well, that was the muscle I was using then. And you store all the energy, all the repressed emotions and thoughts and so forth in your muscles and in your nervous system. So the very basic sponsoring thought, if you like, is the nervous system. That's where it all starts. And it depends how much you held in there, how much trauma you've had. I mean, lifetime after lifetime, we've hundreds of them, haven't we? Traumas. Don't even know what they are. And sometimes they're not even ours. This is something else I've realised. I thought, where does this come from? Oh yeah, I probably helped somebody with so-and-so and I picked up their stuff, all in my muscles. Got to get rid, And massaging does help. You should get some good massage cream to massage the muscles. But there isn't a lot you can do for this pain. It's just got to work its way through. It's just a question of Well, I find it good to yell and scream. When it all gets too bad, I say, hang on chaps, I'm going to put a pillow up, I'm going to scream, button down the hatches, don't listen to me, I've got to scream this out. And that does help, actually. And to have a good cry, because a lot of it is really, really powerful emotional stuff. And it's locked in the muscles and locked in the nervous system. So when this energy came in at 3:30, I thought, oh no, this is most peculiar. Is it a psychic attack? Is it this? Is it that? And I don't get answers. I'm not one of these lucky people that has conversations with beings. I probably do get them, but they're not in words. And I sort of worked this through. I thought, well, it's no good being afraid, you know. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of all this pain and knowing what to do with it. So I got all my little systems that I use. I take Phos, which is the homeopathic remedy for the nervous system if you get really, really exhausted. And that's a good remedy to look into. So Phos. Arnica for pain and in the muscles and so forth, and arthritis, which I have. Lots of things you have to drink plenty of water, because the electrical system needs lots of water. And food, I mean, basically, I'm not terribly good at dietary stuff. I'm vegetarian basically, but I don't really like vegetables. You know, with my illness, I got to stand and chop and stir, and I can't be bothered with it all. So I buy instant soups from Sainsbury's. They're very good, actually. I buy instant soups, or I have like rice and stuff. You know, I have snack meals. I don't have a really good meal. I like noodles, things like that. But I should be eating probably more to ground the energy. But it's very difficult to get the balance right. Again, I don't go shopping. I get shopping once a week from Sainsbury's. But to go vegetable shopping, you know, and when you're on your own, if you buy vegetables, they go off. You can't use them up all the time, you know. So the diet thing for me is quite tricky. But bananas, they will solve anything. They're high in potassium. Potassium we need for the nervous system, the electrical system. Phos is potassium. Bananas are very high in potassium, so a banana will nearly always solve a problem or two. But it is a question really of doing what you can, finding your own system of dealing with this input of electrical circuits get a bit blown, I think. And I do feel quite ill afterwards, actually. I just got up now and it's midday. I don't sleep till about 3:30, 4 o'clock. But sometimes, you know, the whole shock to the system. Something else, Rescue Remedy is very good. Aconite, homeopathically for shock. Lots of these things you can take to help the body. You have to help the body cope with the input of electrical energy. Apparently it's programmed to do so. I don't know. I do get concerned. Today I still haven't got, this is my new nightie. I just got this. And have you noticed quickly, have you noticed you're doing things more? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing it? It's like an impulse more than a thought. I think we're acting from our hearts more. Why am I doing this? I'm not even had breakfast. I'm not even, you know, so you're questioning yourself a lot more, I think, and that's okay. You're following your heart. Okay, I have to go. I've run out of time. Time, T-Y-M-E, good for costs. Oh, my little thing. Anyway, darlings, take care. If you've got any questions, you know, please do ask them on the comment section. I'm only too pleased to answer from my own experience, you know. I don't know what I'm doing. Take care. Bye for now.